What if apple cider vinegar has nothing to do with digestion? What if it's not helping your gut? Not lowering blood sugar? And not some old folk remedy at all? What if apple cider vinegar is actually fuel for your brain, and that's why it works? A world-leading neuroscientist told me something about apple cider vinegar that completely changed how I use it, and how I think about appetite, protein cravings, fat loss, and metabolism. And once you understand this, dieting stops feeling like willpower and starts making biological sense. I'm not talking about internet wellness advice. This came directly from Dr. Dom D'Agostino, one of the most respected neuroscientists and metabolic researchers in the world. When he mentioned apple cider vinegar, it wasn't casual. It wasn't trendy. It wasn't about gut health. He explained that acetate, the compound in apple cider vinegar, can be used by the brain as an alternative fuel source. That's important, because when the brain doesn't get fuel, it doesn't just feel tired. It misfires appetite signals. Here's what almost nobody talks about. If you're insulin resistant, even mildly, your brain becomes insulin resistant too. That means glucose doesn't enter certain brain regions efficiently. The hypothalamus, the control center for hunger and appetite, starts running low on energy. And when the hypothalamus lacks energy, hunger signals get louder, cravings increase, appetite regulation breaks down. This is not a discipline problem. This is an energy problem. Apple cider vinegar provides acetate. Acetate bypasses insulin resistance, enters the brain directly, fuels neurons efficiently, supports damaged or dysfunctional mitochondria. So when you consume apple cider vinegar, you're not stimulating digestion. You're feeding the brain. And when the brain has energy, appetite signaling works again. This brings us to something called the protein leverage hypothesis. It sounds complicated, but it's brutally simple. Humans don't stop eating when calories are met. Humans stop eating when protein needs are met. If protein intake is too low, your body forces you to keep eating. Two systems control this. The hypothalamus, brain sensing amino acids. The liver, which releases FGF21 when protein is insufficient. But here's the catch. If the brain isn't getting energy, those protein signals get distorted. Instead of craving protein, you crave everything. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows appetite begins to calm when protein intake reaches roughly right pointing backhand index 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. This is not your daily requirement. This is the signal threshold where appetite finally shuts off. Until you hit that level, you'll keep eating. You'll keep craving. You'll keep snacking. That's why many plant-based or low-protein diets struggle with appetite control. Now here's something that hasn't fully hit the research yet, but makes total sense mechanistically. Creatine fuels the brain through a glucose-independent system. It works through the phosphocreatine energy system, not glucose. That means better brain energy, better appetite control, better protein sensing. When the brain has energy from acetate plus creatine, it finally interprets protein signals correctly. That's why combining apple cider vinegar, creatine, adequate protein, is so powerful. You're fixing the signal, not fighting cravings. Let's make this actionable. Keycap: one morning, empty stomach. A small dose of apple cider vinegar activates mitochondria, provides early brain fuel, improves metabolic flexibility. Keycap 2 pre-workout. The acidic bite activates TRP receptors, increases adrenaline, boosts motivation, enhances fat mobilization. Keycap 3 with high-carb meals, especially dinner. Apple cider vinegar slows carb absorption, improves glucose handling, reduces overeating risk. Keycap 4 protein front-loading. High-protein breakfast, high-protein lunch, carbs later in the day with ACV. This strategy gives you control, not restriction. Apple cider vinegar doesn't magically burn fat. What it does is restore mitochondrial energy. When mitochondria work, muscles function better. Inflammation drops. Exercise becomes effective again. Fat loss isn't about burning more calories. It's about making your body capable of using energy again. Apple cider vinegar works because it fuels the brain. When the brain has energy, appetite calms down. Protein signals normalize. Metabolism reconnects. This isn't dieting. This is biology. And if you want one simple nighttime habit that drops cortisol, improves sleep, and amplifies everything we talked about today, watch the next video right here. I'll see you tomorrow. Fisted hand sign.